said peekaboo.
Not peekaboo. Oh my god. You. Hi, welcome back to Spreading Humors. It is your favorite duo, Brandy and Courtney.
What up?
The best on the internet, in my opinion.
Heyo.
The one and only, the two and only, I guess.
Two and only.
2 and 1?
I mean, some days.
Maybe. We're a package deal.
Yeah, we are.
That's how it works. That was so funny. What the heck? Peekaboo. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm going to bump it up so you can hear it because it was funny. Anyway, we are getting into the last couple weeks of Pride. Sad. Pride month should be literally all the time.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be a great idea to talk about our coming out stories / moments we realized we were not straight.
Gay as fuck.
Gay as shit. You know, just to enlighten the folks on us a little bit.
Oh, enlightening the folks on myself. That's a fun time.
Uh-huh. And maybe, you know, if there's someone out there who's struggling a little bit to find themselves, maybe we can help.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe this will inspire you.
I mean, that's the goal, really, is just to help someone somewhere.
Right. And that's the whole point of Pride, right? Is to make sure everyone's safe and everyone's happy with being who they are.
And they love themselves.
That's important because I think, especially like in America, you know, it's really sad to see that people would rather die than just be happy.
Well, and then I've always been... like whenever I've never gone to an actual Pride event, but whenever I've gone out during Pride events, I've always told younger people, especially, that, you know, if your parents don't support you, I will. I am your new mom. I'm your gay mom. Like, come to me. I will try and help you through anything. I may not be the best help, but it's better than going home to a toxic family that makes you hate who you are.
Yep. And honestly, if you are one of those people who make other people feel shitty about being themselves, shame on you.
Yep.
Shame on you. Do not listen to this podcast. I don't want you here.
No.
Because we are all about self-love. I don't care who you are. As long as you ain't, you know, doing things that are illegal.
Exactly.
I don't care. You know, like, just be who you are. Be who you want to be, Barbie girl. Anyway,
I love that.
Let's jump right into it. Who wants to go first? You? Me? Okay, mine is really interesting. Mine's kind of a long story as well. I guess we'll just start with kind of how I knew, and we can get into me coming out because it was interesting. So I've always known, like, since I was a baby, since I came out of the womb.
Out the womb.
I came out of the womb with,
Hey, girl.
hey, girl. No, that's not true. Well, maybe. I actually don't know. I don't remember that. I was a fetus. Infant. Anyway.
Fetus.
Yeah. Well, when you're out, you're an infant. You're not a fetus.
But in
the womb, maybe.
You were a gay fetus.
I was a gay fetus.
Gay fetus.
I was a closeted womb fetus. Wait.
A wombed fetus.
A wombed fetus. A gay wombed fetus. No. This is getting off topic.
Let's move on.
Okay, moving on. No, anyway, it was I remember it very specifically. This is like my first memory of like realizing what was wrong with me, quote unquote. It's nothing wrong with me, of course, but
no.
When I was younger, I didn't know.
Right.
I was 6 years old. And this is actually...
6 is early.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's like, you don't know what you want that young. Bitch, the fuck I did. Because look at me now. I'm a little bit whoo. But funny enough, I went to a Christian school. I think, did I tell you the story? Have I told you the story?
I think you've told me bits and pieces, but not the whole thing.
Okay, well, here's the whole fucking thing. Buckle up, bitches. Here we go. I went to a Christian school, which is fucking hilarious. One of the worst years of my entire life. I hated that school. Don't do that. Don't do that. It wasn't worth it. I got bullied. Like, at a Christian school, I got fucking bullied.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what the hell is that? Anyway, that's besides the point. I was 6 years old, and I remember... seeing this girl. Okay, mind you, this school was K through 12. Mm-hmm. There were 3 teachers. The first one was K through 5th, and then you had middle school, which was, 6th through 8th, and then you had the high school 9 through 12. So I was, of course, in the K through 5 class. Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing this girl. She was, I believe, in 9th grade. Okay,
Girl! But you don't like older women now.
This might be why. This might have traumatized me. No, I'm just kidding. Nothing actually happened. But I just remember seeing her, and I was just like, I felt weird. Like, looking at her, I was like, whoa. Like, why do I feel this way.
Tingly.
Literally, like tingly, and like I was shy. Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't want to talk to her. I didn't want her to see me. Again, I was 6. She was like, what, 14, 15? 15,
Yeah.
something like that. So what the fuck, like, you know, obviously it's a huge age gap. That's like,
Well, that was a bit of a jump.
that's like 9 years or some shit. But anyway, I just remember feeling so fucking weird, and I was like, what the fuck, like, why am I doing this? Didn't want to be around her, didn't want to look at her. I obviously wanted to be around her, look at her, but like,
yeah.
but like I didn't, you know. And I just remember like, why am I feeling this way? I remember one time we were in the bathroom, I was in the bathroom, and I remember her and her friend walked in, and I ran and hid in the stall.
Oh no.
And I was hiding from her because I didn't want her to see me. And I remembered that specific moment, and I was like, holy shit, like, why am I doing this? And then there was one time when we passed each other in the hallway, and she fucking talked to me, and I almost passed the fuck out. I was like, who?
BB Brandy.
Literally, I was, again, 6. I was 6. And I just remember being like, it was just weird. It was just weird. And she was super nice. One of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life. Like, honestly, right now, I don't remember what she looked like. But at the time,
tell ya.
at the time, I was like, holy shit, who is this? I'm like, hello. Yeah, who is that girl?
Oh, I was thinking of New Girl theme song. Who's that girl? Who's that girl? It's Jess. But her name probably wasn't Jess.
I don't remember what her name was, to be honest with you.
Well, it's Jess now.
Okay, I'm Jess. We'll call her Jess. If it was her, yikes. We don't name drop on here. But anyway, yeah.
Unless we have permission first.
Yeah, can I have your permission to name drop? I don't even know. Could not tell you anything about her besides the fact that I was apparently in love with her as the 6-year-old. And I just remember being like, I shouldn't feel this way about girls. Like, that's not normal. You know, it's not normal. I grew up in a very, very conservative house.
Yep.
My parents never, like, hated gay people. It was more of, like, as long as they don't flirt with me, I don't care. You know, like that kind of thing. And so I just remember them, you know, always preaching, like, you know, not that gay is wrong, because they never once said that to me, but I was just accustomed to that's not how it should be.
Well, going to a Christian school and everything.
Yeah. God was watching. God knew.
Oh,
God knew. He did that on purpose. He knew what he was doing. He said, this one right here, take her. Let's see what happens. This will be fun. Fun game. But anyway, no one knew about that because, you know, I didn't have many friends at that school because everyone hated me for some reason. I was cute.
You were too cool.
I was cute.
Not too.
Yeah, I was too cool and cute. Anyway, fast forward to, I don't know, I guess elementary school. Well, I guess I was still in elementary school. Maybe like 3rd-ish grade. I had moved to a different little town in Alaska. And I had kind of forgotten. I was never really romantically interested in anybody. I had like a boyfriend in 3rd grade. I had 2 of them. At the same time. I know. I was a slut.
God damn.
I know. As a little 8-year-old, I was a little slut.
It's that Christian schooling, man.
I know. It really did something to me. I was really trying to be the Virgin Mary, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. I don't want kids.
I know you don't.
No. That was a joke.
Especially not by immaculate conception.
Yeah. Ooh. Anywho's it?
Any hoodle.
But like it was all like, oh, you know, being 8 years old, having a boyfriend was like, you know, you're 8. Like, what the fuck do you know? And like, I never really felt anything towards anybody. I, you know, never had that feeling until middle school. And here's where it gets fun. And I might be outing myself here a little bit, but
Oh well.
Fuck it. It's been how many years?
A lot.
It's been a while.
It's been many a year.
Many a decade. 1 decade. Longer than that.
It was a decade and then some.
And then some. Anywho, I had this really good friend at the time who I thought was just the most magnificent person I've ever met in my life. And she was in band with me. And we just got along so great. She was like one of my best friends. And like, you know, we were hanging out, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, wow, why do I feel this towards this person? Like, that's not right. She's straight. I know that. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing ever happened, unfortunately. Ugh. If you're listening to this, you probably know who you are. Too bad. So sad. You could have had me.
Don't you wish your
girlfriend was hot like me? Anyway, And that was also like a moment where I realized, holy shit, like I am attracted to girls. That's just it. And then I had a boyfriend in 8th grade. He was a freshman in high school. I was in 8th grade. I felt so cool. I had a freshman boyfriend. I was like, oh, my boyfriend's in high school. He was disgusting. Okay. He was disgusting. Yeah. I just remember this is probably what really did it for me. Trying, because then I had questions. Like, again, I didn't really know what sexuality was at that age. Right. Like, I had never really thought about it. But this was like a moment where I knew I'm not bisexual. I like women. I'm a lesbian. Point, period, blank, whatever the fuck the saying is. Point, blank, period.
All of it.
Yeah.
Period.
Period. God, I'm on something right now. Holy shit.
High on life, baby.
Anyway. Count how many times we say anyway in this podcast.
Or any version of anyway.
Yeah, or but, or anywho, or something.
Just don't count my likes, please.
Yeah, don't do that. Anyway.
Ding!
Number 1. No, that's like many. But I had this boyfriend, and I remember being around him was just like kind of awkward. Like I didn't feel like, I think I was just attracted to the idea of him and idea of him being older, and I was getting attention because everyone's like, oh, you have this older boyfriend?
Right.
Like, ooh, even though he was gross.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter when you're that age. Everyone's like looking at you and they're like, wow, like, holy shit. Like, you could pull. I pulled bitches, man. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I just remember thinking, why? Like, this is just not normal. Like, this is just like, I'm uncomfortable being with this person. And I thought, well, maybe it's just him. Like, maybe, he's just, again, he was kind of gross. And so I remember we went on a date. My very first date. We went to the movies. And
what movie did you go see?
The Dilemma. With Vince Vaughn and some other people.
Interesting.
Don't remember anything about it because I was preoccupied, and we'll get into that. My mom had one rule. I had to go with a friend, so I brought my best friend at the time, and she went with us, which thank fucking God, because if she wasn't there, I don't know what the fuck would have happened, because this
You would have been in the bathroom the entire time.
I would have been... Probably more than that. He was getting very touchy-feely, disgusting with me. Like, I'm telling you, like, it was uncomfortable. And I was like, I'm not into this. I'm not into this. I remember we, like, kind of were making out-ish. He tried to stick his tongue down my throat, and I was like, I'm not doing this. And so I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. And I told my best friend, I was like, you need to come with me to the bathroom. Like, I gotta go. And so I told her, I was like, can you please sit between us? Because I'm not into this. I'm not into this. So she sat in between us for the rest of the movie, and he was really offended. And I was like, I'm not comfortable with you doing that to me. And so again, I think that at that moment I was like, this is just like, I don't know if it's just him or if it's just men, period. But then I remember I broke up with him because, one, he was super clingy, and I just could not deal with that. As I've mentioned previously, he tried to get me to quit music, and we don't do that.
Ew.
Yeah. And so then I was single for the rest of my life. Well, I kind of tried to date my best friend, also a man, and that didn't work out because it just didn't work out. And yeah, but anyway, after that, I was single forever because I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm just me. I never really felt attracted to anybody. I was just whatever. Well, then fast forward to moving to Colorado, and I met this girl, my ex, and we hit it off immediately. We were like hooked. And I remember her telling me one dark and stormy night. She had mentioned to me that she had dated girls before. And I could tell this was her way of saying she was into me. Yeah. Because she was like, I didn't know how to tell you this. I don't want it to be awkward. I understand if like you never want to be my friend again, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, like that's fine. And I told her, I said, honestly, I've been curious about that because I've never, been with a girl before. Right. And I've always kind of been curious about that. And so then we started dating, and it was for our first kiss was the moment I realized this is normal. That was the time I actually felt normal. Mm-hmm. Like, this is right. This is who I am.
Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. And so I think it was that moment that I knew I am a lesbian.
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. I'm pretty gay. And so then now we can get into the coming out part of this story because it was about the same time. So she was my first girlfriend. And I remember My parents used to periodically check our phones. They were one of those people.
Yep.
Yeah, as most parents do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like I get it, kind of, sort of.
No,
I was a really good kid, so I don't know why they felt the need to do that, but
no,
whatever.
same.
But whatever. Anyway, so I remember my mom grabbing my phone one time, and she read the text messages between us.
Oh.
And she was like, "What the hell is this?" And I was like, "Well, that is my girlfriend." And she flipped her shit. She said, you're not a lesbian. You're not gay. This is no, you're not. Like, that's just not it. She started asking me 50 questions. Like, were you ever with your, like, this friend and this friend? And I was like, no, Mom, this is the first girl I've been with, and it feels normal to me. And I said, remember my ex-boyfriend? It was not normal. I didn't feel comfortable with him. And she was like, well, he was kind of icky, which is true. He was icky.
You're right, Mama. You're right.
Mom was right. He was icky. But it's not his. Maybe it was his fault. It doesn't matter. I was like, no, Mom. This is just me. And she was like, you're breaking up with her. You're not a thing. So she forced us to break up. We didn't actually break up. We pretended.
Yeah.
So then a couple months later, Mom found it again. Yeah. And she said, what the hell? Like, I thought, we had this conversation before. And I said, Mom, I can't help it. Like, I can't help who I'm attracted to. And it's this girl. And that's just the way it's going to be. She didn't like that answer very much. She told my dad. She threatened to tell her parents. Well, she already told her parents. The school.
Because that's going to do anything.
Yeah, I know. The school got involved. We weren't allowed to sit by each other at lunch. We weren't allowed to sit by each other on the bus. We weren't allowed to sit near each other in band.
Is this the same school you get suspended for having colored hair?
Yep. With the really fucking shitty principal.
Yeah.
My high school in Colorado was super shitty. It's better now. They got a new principal. Everything's fine now. But my principal was a piece of garbage. But anyway, and I just remember, and then people were not really making fun of us, but they were being like, if you want equality, you have to be treated like everybody else, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is not being treated like everybody else.
No.
I don't see, guy and girl getting separated in the lunchroom. I don't see guy and girl getting separated on the bus. I don't see guy and girl doing this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that was before, was that 2013, I think? So that was before gay marriage was even legal.
Yep.
I think we just talked about that this morning. Gay marriage got legalized in 2015, best year.
Ew.
And so I just felt, we both felt, I don't know how we didn't break up, to be honest with you. It was hard. We would always we were in community band together. We would always sneak out early and like go to dinner and like be cute,
Yeah.
like we'd have like those moments together because like we couldn't do it otherwise.
Regularly. Yeah.
And I remember Mom saying too, like, she's not allowed over here. Like, you can't see her, blah, 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 like the typical bullshit.
Yeah.
And her telling me, like, your dad's going to be so upset and all this, blah, blah, blah. Turns out Dad was not upset. Dad's first words were, at least you can't get pregnant. Period. And I only know that because my oldest sister told me that. And I said, that's funny. Because my mom called my oldest sister. My oldest sister said the same thing. Well, at least you can't get pregnant. Yeah. My oldest sister has been just always there for me. Appreciates you. I know you listen to these. And I just love you so much.
First follower on Instagram was your sister.
Oh, she was.
Yeah. What a queen.
What a queen. Period.
Snaps.
Snaps for my sister. Love you so much. But apparently my mom called her and talked to her about it and blah, blah, blah. Because I remember my mom telling me, like, you need to talk to your sister about that because she had a phase and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, it's not a phase, Mom. So phase. Sorry. And I think it's weird because, to my knowledge, I am the only queer person in my family. The only one. Yeah. I think my cousin might be one of my cousins, but I don't know that for a fact. To my knowledge, I'm the only one. So
it's the only one that's come out.
Yes, the only one that's come out that is,
proud of who they are.
Exactly. And that's just who I am as a person. Like, I don't care anymore. So then it was when I turned 18 when I could make my own decisions and do all my own stuff. When I moved to college, my ex moved down with me, like, and then we were living our best lives. Parents got over it. I was never disowned. They never kicked me out. I was very lucky.
Yeah.
I was very, very fortunate to have parents that still loved me, even though I was different. And that they supported me. They are better now. I think I remember when we got engaged, my mom was like, oh, I thought you already were engaged. I was like, yeah, I mean, we've been together for 6 years. So like, yeah. And I think it's more of like, they just don't want to fully accept it, but they like tolerate it, if that makes sense. Like, they're just like, I mean, whatever. It's just whatever.
Right.
So it's fine. I have a good relationship with my parents. Like, there's, nothing's wrong. They were never hateful. They've
That's
never
good.
been hateful. I'm very
Right.
lucky. So
It just threw them off guard. They weren't comfortable with it. And then they were like, well, this is who she is. So
yeah, because it didn't change. And getting me and my ex were together for 10 fucking years. And
clearly it wasn't a phase, Mom.
yeah, it wasn't because I'm still. And then after me and my ex broke up, I went through a period where I was questioning again, where I was like, do I like men? Like, maybe I am bi. No. The longer I think about it, the more I'm like, ew, I just can't with men. I find some men attractive, but
Right.
that's it. Like, I don't want to do anything else with them. I just like, no.
No,
They're
you're not. You're not sexually attracted to men.
No, I'm not. Or romantically, for that matter.
No.
I'm not nothing. Like, I don't want to hold their hands. I don't want to kiss them. I don't want to.
You
like,
just appreciate when they're a pretty person.
exactly. And it's more of like an envy thing, I think. I'm like, man, I wish I looked like that.
Right.
Like, look at you.
Hello.
Like, we made this joke the other day. Like, God made me a woman for a reason because he knew if I was a man, all bets are off. All bets are off. He said, no, you're just going to be a lesbian. That's fine. That's good enough. Yeah. So that's kind of me. That's my story. That's my coming out story.
I love that, though.
And now I'm just here. All right, your turn. Tiger it.
So I don't even know. I've tried to pinpoint a precise moment when I realized it, but I don't think I know exactly. However, looking back on different events, I'm like, that should have pointed it out. That should have pointed it out. That should have really pointed it out.
It's all like all of the dots are connecting.
Yeah, but so in my early, well, and into my late, even into now, I'm an emo sack of shit.
You're not. You're not a sack of shit.
I'm just emo.
You're just emo. Sorry for mocking you. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. I enjoy it.
Anyway, keep going.
But I was very much in my scene era.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
You know, I had the hair. I had the scars. I had the bracelets. Everything. That was me. But I would take like photos that I downloaded from Google and burn them on CDs so I could have them and look at them, or flash drives or whatever. And I'd started at one point.
Damn, say you're old without saying you're old.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I had folders dedicated to quote unquote hairstyles.
Oh.
Bitch, they were not. I mean, they were, but I saved them because the bitch that had it was hot. Like, so me and my cousin, who's 6 months older than me and male, we would like plug the flash drive in or whatever, and we would, oh, that's a nice haircut. Oh, that's a nice haircut. And, just we would go through these pictures, and I ended up like copying all of them and gave him a flash drive of these haircuts that I wanted, hairstyles, hair colors, whatever. And we had our favorites.
No. Oh.
I don't remember any of their names, but they were like the MySpace, the Twitter, like the scene girls that everyone knew at the time.
I'm very familiar.
Yeah. I mean, hot as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
But that was my type. But there was one day where we were talking about it, and I was just like, I don't think I keep these pictures saved for the hairstyles. And my cousin was just like, you think?
Oh, he fucking knew, bitch. He fucking knew.
He was just like, I think you might like girls. And I was like, I think you might be right. So then it was kind of like, well, do I? Like, or do I just think they're pretty?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Where's that line? So, and very few people know this.
Oh, now you're going to tell the entire podcast community?
Yeah, the podcast community gets to know.
Fuck it, send it.
So, what definitely confirmed it for me, or at least I think confirmed it for me, should have confirmed it for me, is the very first time I got off from masturbating was to lesbian porn.
You have told me that before. I'm honored. Yeah, okay. No.
But like that was, I think that, yeah.
Yeah.
If it didn't, it should have sealed the deal.
Uh-huh.
But I think it did. But then I got a boyfriend. Well, I mean, I'd had boyfriend before then, but didn't ever do anything with it. We didn't even kiss the boy. Like, it was, a 2-month relationship, and it was like, oh, we gave notes to each other, put them in each other's lockers, and whatever. But then I had my first serious boyfriend, which was my first kiss. My first time doing the deed.
Oh.
Literally my first everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first date, we went to the movies.
What'd you see? Do you remember?
Whenever they redid the Jurassic Park. So not whenever they started the new ones with Chris Pratt, but whenever they remastered Jurassic Park.
Cute. I love that for you.
Yeah. Turned out to be the worst relationship of my life. But,
yikes. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. But anyway, so then it was like, okay, well, because I'm having sex with a guy. I enjoy it. But I still get off watching women. So, like, I need to figure it out further.
Sure.
So then at one point when me and my ex were broken up because we did the on again, off again, on a break bullshit.
Yeah, yes.
But when we were physically broken up at one point, I decided to message this girl that I had always thought was super fucking pretty. I thought she was the prettiest girl ever. Still think she's super pretty. And I was just like, hey, do you want to hang out? And I knew she was bi. Like, she was bi. I knew it. She was single. I wasn't worried about stepping on toes, whatever. And so I went to her. I guess it was her parents' house because we were still young. But
yeah,
she ended up taking the house from her parents.
Oh, okay.
Or not taking it, but getting it.
Yeah.
And then she lived there for a while. But anyway, went over to her house, and we were hanging out, and I was just like, this is going to be really awkward, but I'm just going to say it. I think you're really pretty. Here's the situation. Like, here's what I've been feeling. How was it for you? Like,
yeah.
And she was like, well, I can just show you.
Whoa!
Oh.
So, damn! Oh, okay.
So that's how that happened, and yeah. I
Holy
was definitely bi.
Whoa! You just, holy shit. I got no balls. I hid from a girl in the bathroom. You just said, hey, I like tits, I think. And she said, do you want to see them?
And she's like,
and you said, yeah, I like them. Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah.
High five.
High
five, bro. Hell yeah.
The amount of high fives I got from my guy friends at that point in time.
Oh, yeah, because she was hot?
Yeah. Because she was one of those, well, I won't say one of those, I'd say it's about 50-50, that identifies as bisexual, but definitely prefers women over men.
Oh, okay.
And so they were all, rearing to get her, and none of them could. And I'm just like, I literally just told her I think I might be bi, and I did.
And then that's all she wrote. Whoa. Wow.
So yeah, that's definitely how I was like, okay, yes, I am bisexual. I like penis. I like boobies. Here we are. Anatomy's so fun.
I ain't even seen her face, but she got beautiful boobies.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Thank you, Posty. As for coming out, though, I never actually came out, like, officially. Oh, sure. I just, one day, started to identify as bisexual and didn't think anything twice about it. And then a couple years ago, my sisters finally outed me to my parents.
Rude.
I mean, under the circumstances, like, I get it. There was a whole other backstory as to how it happened, but just the conversation went to, because my mom has always been very supportive of anything and everything we've chose to do. She's never been, like, homophobic or anti-gay or whatever. She would say she didn't ever expect it out of any of us or whatever. But my dad, homophobic, like, not a fun time.
Yeah.
So the conversation that my sisters had with my parents, it basically went along the lines of, well, what would you do if one of your kids were gay? And my dad was like, well, they're not, because this one's got a boyfriend. Me, I'm engaged to a man.
It was that late?
Yeah.
Oh,
this is just a couple
whoa.
years ago.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, so I was engaged to Nick at that time. And then the sister below me also had a boyfriend. And the other one below me was talking to a guy, wasn't in a relationship, was talking to a guy. And so my dad was like, there's no way you guys are all interested in guys. And they were like, well, what would you do if we told you that there are 3 of us that are bisexual? And I guess my dad's jaw just dropped and he was like, well, no.
Yeah.
Like, which one? Which one of you? Like, no, there's no way. So then my sisters were like, the 2 that brought it up, and then me. And my dad's response was, well, she's marrying Nick. How can she be gay?
Yeah. That's not.
And I was like, that's not how it works.
You're like, Dad.
But yeah, so then for like months straight, neither of my parents could look me in the eye. But now they're fine with it. I mean, they don't bring it up, obviously.
Sure.
I'm married.
So you married a guy.
I did marry a man.
That's unfortunate.
How homophobic of me.
How homophobic are you to be married to Nick during Pride Month?
I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, get the fuck out.
Okay, but as we discussed, Nick is one of the girls. Like,
that's true. Nick
he's got a beard and a penis, but he's a girl.
He's a girl. We love Nick. We stand Nick. Nick, you're
we
great.
love him.
We love Nick.
But yeah, so.
Wow. Okay, so they were. Yeah, sure, but they didn't treat you. They didn't kick you out. They didn't.
Oh no! I mean, I was already moved out and everything at
I
that
guess
point.
that's fair.
So,
see, I was still.
I'd like to have seen him try to do anything to me at that point.
Yeah, you'd have been like, bye, block.
No, when I say this is only a few years, I'd already bought my house at this point.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so
shit.
it was like during COVID, right after COVID.
Oh, okay. So literally like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Not good for you.
And I'm 27, by the way.
Yeah, you're old.
I know. Okay.
I'm not much younger.
Not even a whole year younger than me.
Almost, but not quite. Yeah. Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
So the funny thing though was with all the flash drives or CDs that I burned with the hairstyle, my sisters had them all too. So like whenever they came out, I was like, girl, I know because I did the same thing.
Yeah, you're like, bitch, come on.
You copied and pasted.
Oh my gosh. See, I grew up as an only child too, so like I didn't have that.
Yeah.
And like none of my sisters knew. Like I remember, I think a couple of my sisters knew because it took us a while to put it on Facebook. Mm-hmm. We were in a relationship just out of fear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was in college. I think I was probably after my freshman year of college, so back in 2016-ish. And we'd put it on Facebook. I remember a couple of my sisters. I have 4 sisters, by the way. The oldest one is the one that knew already. And then a couple of my other ones, they had texted me like, is that your girlfriend? And I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Surprise, bitch. Yeah, sorry. And that was it. I don't really talk to my siblings, so like, we didn't really have that interaction. But to my knowledge, everyone's fine with it, and like they've never had any hate from them. So like, that's good.
No, that is good. No, my sisters, I only told them whenever they came to me questioning their sexuality, and I was like, it's okay to experiment. You want to find out the truth? I was like, this is what happened with me. I am bisexual. And the sister you've met, she was just like, duh.
Duh. Like, of course you are.
She's like, I realized that, mom and because the rule when dating was when we had a boy over, our door had to stay open.
Of course.
Whatever. Couldn't be under the blanket together. But that rule did not apply to girls.
What
happened behind closed doors stays behind closed doors.
Ooh, it gets spicy. Ooh,
only when they were home.
That's fair.
But
yeah, I was gonna say something and I don't remember what it was. Thank you. That's so helpful.
I thought so.
No,
Little.
I forgot. I'll just say something else instead.
Okay.
I remember also growing up, like, I always felt uncomfortable around my girlfriends because I was like, do I like you?
Yeah.
Like, I'm, like, attracted to you, but, like, I want to be your friend.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to, like, do anything with you.
Yeah.
And I was always afraid of them, like, finding out. Because first of all, I'm a super, like, flirtatious, nice person.
But, like, in a platonic way.
Right. Very, very platonic. Like, I will tell you you're fucking beautiful. I will tell you, like, wink at you and, like, say, hey. but I don't mean it in a romantic way.
Right.
But my fear was I didn't want people to think that of me.
Yeah.
So I tend to gravitate towards being friends with men because of that reason.
Yep.
I was never flirtatious with men. I was never anything with men. I don't know how people didn't fucking know. No idea. The signs were there, bitches. Like, y'all were dumb as fuck. Unless you knew and you just didn't say anything, in which case that's disrespectful. You should have told me because I didn't know either. I didn't know.
Yeah, no, I totally get that though, because whenever I was curious and I went to my female friends, I lost all of my female friends because I said I might be bi. And they're like, well, I don't want you getting a crush on me, so we can't be friends anymore. Which is why I ended up with 90% guy friends.
Yeah.
And I mean, most of them were fools and just fetishized it.
Yeah.
But like, there were some homies in there that just had my back.
Yeah, and I also remember like being like a freshman in high school specifically. I was still in Alaska at the time. There was one lesbian couple.
Yep.
At the school, and I remember people would like make fun of them and be like, "Ooh, that's so gross."
Yep.
Like, ew, like, why would you do that? Blah blah blah. And I remember thinking like, it's not that gross.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I don't understand why you think it's gross. And maybe that was also a sign for me being like, I think I am attracted to women. Because yeah, I just remember seeing that like they'd hold hands and they'd kiss and like all this stuff, and I thought it was completely normal.
Yeah, no, same.
I was like, there's nothing wrong with that. Look at them, they're cute. Like they're living their best life, and everyone else was like, ew.
Yeah.
And so that was also like my internal homophobia was like, you're not gay, like you can't be. Like,
Yeah.
do you want to be treated like that? Like no, like there's no way.
Well, that was.
I don't think I was ever friends with anybody who was gay or bisexual or anything either, at least to my knowledge. Like now they're all married to men and have babies, so ew, that's homophobic. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't think I have any of my old friends like that.
Yeah.
I've met more gay people since I moved to Indiana than I've ever met in my life.
Bloomington is very gay.
Yes, and I love that for me. Colorado's really gay too. Like I should say at my undergrad, there was a lot of gay people. Like half the fucking music department was queer in some way, and I loved that for us. Like we were just a bunch of queers, and I love that.
Being queer is pretty fun.
It is. You should try it sometime. Oh, I remember what I was going to say way back in the waybacks. If you want to experiment, that's okay. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, human nature is having a curious mind. Like that is just, and you know, you could like you had that experience. Am I attracted to them romantically, or do I just think they're really pretty?
Yep.
You know, and then you try it and you're like, oh, I'm not into that. Or you try it and you're like, actually.
And it's like, hey-o.
Hey. And if they're cute, that's a bonus.
And it will be very confusing. Like, don't let that push you astray, though, because it's just something like any other part of life you've got to figure out. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to know. I mean, some people might know right off the bat, but for the most part, you're not going to know, especially if you grow up in homes like we did, which I didn't say. I was raised in a very Christian home, too. Went to church every Wednesday, went to church most Sundays. Mm-hmm. And my dad was raised Nazarene, so that's even...
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. But anyway, being raised in that kind of environment, we were just taught that it wasn't normal to be gay. It wasn't necessarily bad, but it just wasn't the everyday thing.
Right.
So...
Yeah.
If you too were raised in that sort of environment situation, just know that it is okay to reach out to people who are going to be understanding and let you figure out who you are, because you are beautiful, you are loved, you are valid, and finding out who you are is a part of life.
Period. Point blank. I would rather you be here than be dead somewhere, because you cannot be who you are. So don't so just surround yourself with good people.
Yes.
And if your family's not one of them, goodbye.
They say blood is thicker than water, but that is such a whitewashed version of an actual quote. Mm-hmm. I don't know the exact quote, but basically just saying the blood of thy coven is stronger than water of the well or water of the world or something. So people who you choose to be your family, that blood is thicker than anything else because you've chosen each other.
Exactly. And it is scary. And it is something, it is better now, I think. It's still not perfect. This world sucks, especially in America. It fucking sucks. But it is better than it was, at least when I was younger. And I'm just, like when we were younger.
Yeah.
It has gotten a lot better. It's a lot more accepted now than it used to be. Again, still not perfect.
No, but even so, better than a lot of countries.
Yeah.
Still today.
So you can, I'm sure, if you're struggling, reach out to someone who's really close
reach out
to
to us. Send us a message. Comment on one of our posts.
I would love to, get to know all of you and help you through this tough time, because it's scary, and you just need someone to be with. And I never had anybody to help me. And I think that's why me and my ex lasted for so long, is because, one, she was my first, and my first everything, really. Yeah. Not my first kiss. Well, I consider her my first kiss because the guy he was she was my first kiss. She was my first everything. And I felt that connection with her because I was like, you helped me find who I am.
Yeah.
And I will forever thank her for that, even though we are exes now and she is kind of poopy. Yeah, she really helped me with that. And so, but it took that long to realize that. And it was just us. Like, we had no support. We lost a lot of friends. Our family wasn't supportive. Well, they, again, they didn't hate us, but like they weren't supportive.
Fully supportive.
Right. And it was hard and it was tough, but we powered through and we got it.
Yep.
So yeah, if you need someone to talk to, please send us a message, send us, a comment on our posts, and would love to reach out to you and talk to some of you guys and help you guys get through it.
But also, if you're not ready, don't push yourself to do it. Wait till you are ready.
And there's no age limit on coming out. There is 0 age limit on figuring out who you are.
Exactly.
I don't know personally, but I've seen many older people coming out as either, transgender or some other, queer identifying.
And they've hid it for years upon years.
Yeah, people who've been married in a heterosexual relationship for years and finally come out and say, I'm gay, or I'm transgender, or I'm queer of some sort, or I'm this. And like, that's okay. We don't want to encourage people to be uncomfortable. So if you're not ready, don't. You're not ready. And if you are ready, congratulations. Happy Pride.
Yes. Happy Pride to everyone, whether you're ready or not.
True.
But especially for those that are finally comfortable to live the lives that they want to live as the people they are. Congratulations. We love you. We are so proud of you.
You're going to make me cry.
Oh.
I'm going to cry.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I just get emotional with this kind of thing because it means a lot. And like, I've really found out a lot about myself personally and how I'm like, you know what? No, I am this way because this is just who I am.
Yep.
And honestly, if you don't like it, fuck off. Like, I don't care.
Better off without you.
Yeah, honestly. Like, yeah, I'm going to be, I'm going to make gay my whole personality because y'all make straight your whole personality. So what the fuck's the difference, right?
Literally.
We all just want to live and be loved and be happy. So, and everyone deserves that no matter your sexuality.
Exactly.
So.
Love is love is love is love.
Forever and ever and ever. And we love you. Okay. On that note, thanks for listening to this very emotional podcast. And we hope that we changed someone's lives in this today. And we hope that we helped you a little bit, at least give you some advice on how to figure it out if you're confused. So, okay. Again, please follow us on Instagram at spreading.humors. We finally hit 20 followers. Yeah. Let's get more. Let's double it. And send it to the next person.
Anyway,
thanks guys for listening, and we will see you next week. Bye.